In this video, I'm going to show you how that if the value in a certain column changes, that the macro will be triggered. So what I was working on this week is I have a firm and they have a number of stations. So the stations go down here, and the requirements for staffing at each station is the same. They need to have the station covered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so what I want my macro to do is every time, so for station 1, I want it to put in the hours that are required. For station 2, I want it to start all over again and we put in the hours that are required again. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly run this and I'll show you how it works. So I'm going to enter shifts. And so there we have up to the top, and there we have our night shift, our day shift, and our off. And if you notice on station 2, it starts over with night, day, and off. So now if we scroll down to the bottom in this, we see that we have 17 people on nights, 17 people on days, and 17 people off. And they have 17 stations that they're trying to cover. So that's perfect. Now, let me show you how I did this. First of all, what I'm going to do is I just have a clear button, which is just clearing the content so I can F8 through it. Okay, and so let me show you the code. So here's the code. I called it sub change stat station number, and I did stat as a range, R as a row, or R is an integer, and R equals 7, and that's where my my staff list starts. And then I say for each stat in sheet in sheet 1 range A7 to A71, for each cell in that range, if stat cell R1 is not equal to stat cells R negative minus R minus 1, then call enter hours. And enter hours is just a simple putting in days and nights for each of them. And so let's just go through here. I'll just scroll over so you can see what we're doing here. Okay, so I'm going to F8 through this. So now I'm going to F8 through this, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to go F8. And so obviously that it's not equal, stat 1 is not equal to the headers, so it's going to call the hours. Now I'm going to go to my other macro and put in hours. Okay, and then I'm putting in the off hours. Okay, so now we're going to go and we're going to increase the number. And so the next one, it goes station 1 and station 2 is going to start on the 3rd line. And so now it's going to call the numbers again. So that basically, every time the station number changes, so we have station number, I'll just bring it over to the front. We have station number 1, and then it changes to station number 2, and automatically when the station number changes, it says, oh, I have to call the macro again. So that's how you can call the macro when you have a value in a certain column changing every time. When it changes, it will trigger the macro to run. So that's how you trigger a macro with the change in the values in the column. Please subscribe.